Everyone, this is Piyu here. So how is Thursday treating you guys? I mean, mine has been mind-blowing, I have to say. Now, I am here to talk about the fountain pens which I use in my journal. And this video is further to a request that has been made by a dear friend of mine, Ankita. She's from Ludhiana. We met each other at the Forex certification classes at Bangalore of ICAI. She's such an adorable soul. I am so excited that she's also a fountain pen freak. I just came to know about it today. And damn, so excited about it. Let me first express gratitude to you guys for watching me and watching my video all through. It really means a lot to me. So I have this notebook right in front of me, so please ignore the distraction of my eyes kind of shifting between the camera and the book, because I just don't want to miss out on anything when I talk to you people. I sincerely wish that you get inspired at the end of this video. For this video is for all those people who are in love with fountain pens and who are ready to kind of explore what fountain pens are. So cheers to you guys. Chalo, now let's get back to the video. Now let me just give a preface to this video. I am no expert here who's kind of trying to teach you people on how to use a fountain pen or how to pick one. I'm just talking on a general basis, the research which I have done when it comes to fountain pen. I'm just talking about on how it works for me. It may not be the same for you, and it's fair enough. I mean, there's no issues about it. In case you guys are feeling who is she to kind of talk so authoritatively with respect to fountain pens. I mean, no offense, I'm just trying to speak on a general basis. So I have been using fountain pens since high school. I still remember I was so excited to kind of start using them, because until high school we were allowed to use only pencils and ballpoint kind of a stuff, and it's from high school we had this transition from a ballpoint pen to a fountain pen, and I absolutely loved those transition. I still remember that so vividly. Later, when I started going to college, I mean, I somehow didn't use the fountain pens too much. I still regret that part of it, because I don't know, I just die for fountain pens, in fact. Maybe because I thought it's too messy and I didn't want to use them. I don't know, I was using a more of a ballpoint during that time. But now I've shifted back to the fountain pen era, or whatever you call it. Now, for all those people who are kind of new to fountain pens, I would suggest you go for a pen which is kind of fairly inexpensive, because this is a time, I'm so sorry that I'm having some trouble with my throat. I'm sorry for that. So for all those beginners, I would suggest you choose a very inexpensive fountain pen, because you have to love the way the pen feels in your hand. You just have to play around with it. You have to enjoy that process of the ink bleeding onto the paper. So it kind of takes some time for you to get adjusted with the fountain pen. So you could probably go for a very economical, inexpensive pens which are available of Flair or Luxor or those kind of pens. I have one in hand to kind of show it to you. So these I think I purchased for around like 60 rupees, 50 to 60 rupees. And for that price, it is kind of fairly decent. So to start with, you can probably get a feel of this in your hand. So I love this color out here. There's a lot of reds and blues in here, and this works on cartridge basis. I can just remove it out for you. So this works on cartridge basis, so there is no problem of the same being messy and all that. And the feel is relatively good. I can just probably, show it to you. So it's kind of relatively good out there. So just kind of start with these kind of pens. You spend less and just get along. Try to love, using fountain pens in your hand, and later probably you can shift to those kind of pens which are a bit more costly. According to me, investing in a fountain pen is something really major, and I would be really heartbroken if I'm going to lose it by any chance. So it's an investment piece for me, as far as I'm concerned. So I am so protective about my pen. So even when I'm going out, I make sure that I don't carry them. I try to kind of substitute my fountain pens with low budget pens, because I don't want to take the risk of losing them when I'm traveling or something. That's how I started. I started with these Luxor and Flair kind of pens in the initial days of journaling, and then slowly I kind of shifted. Once I started playing with them, I explored them, I started loving them. I decided to purchase some high-end pens, and one amongst that is my Schaefer pen. So this pen I have purchased from William Pen. I basically don't do online shoppings when it comes to pens, because I want to see the performance of the pen visually right in front of my eyes, just experience the feel of the pen and the feel of the nib, the flow of the ink. So I basically walk into William Pen store. That's where I get all my fountain pens and high-end pens. So I just get in there and then choose one for myself. It generally takes around an hour if I have to choose one pen. I get the salesman, grab all the pens out of the shelf. I try out all of them and finally zero down to one. So that's how I do it. So this pen which I have in hand is my Schaefer's pen, Duster ink. I can probably show you how the ink looks like. I would leave a link down below in case you guys are interested to kind of purchase this one. You can go ahead and do that. I highly recommend this pen, but only for those people who use fountain pens very religiously. For those who use fountain pens quite occasionally, I would never suggest this pen, because it seems to be, it is an expensive pen. I paid around some 3.3 for this one. So this is how the ink looks like. The second one, I hope you get that. It's the Duster ink pen. Ink pen, that's what I'm talking about. So this happens to be the medium nib. I totally suggest going for extra fine or medium nibs when it comes to fountain pen, because these kind of nibs can kind of get along with any kind of paper. Supposing you are choosing a pen with a broad nib, there will be a lot of ink flow which happens from the pen to the paper, and it can tend to be a bit messy, or you might not like the look of it once you're done with the page, because it's kind of too bulky. The writing happens to be too bulky. And if you are a Moleskine person, broad nibs are a big no, because Moleskine is one such paper which does not, suck the ink properly when it comes to the broad nibbed pens, because you wouldn't be able to write on the back side of the paper if you're using a broad ink pen. So I would suggest for beginners, not even for beginners, you can kind of explore a lot of paper when it comes to fine and extra fine nibs. So I would suggest to get along with that if you want to draw, because I have a habit of sketching using my fountain pen, and fine nibs are totally perfect for that. So this one is, I'll just get into and get you the specific. It's a Schiefer 9470 fountain pen. I would leave a link down below so that in case you guys want to buy it, you can. I totally recommend this pen because I love fountain pens for their weight. I absolutely love the weight of this pen. And let me kind of, show you how the cartridge looks like. This is how the converter looks like. You can also, I got 2 cartridges when I bought this pen. So I basically do the cartridges only when I go for, when I do traveling. So when I'm in station, I prefer to kind of fill up ink. I love doing that. I love filling up ink. I mean, it's a totally different experience altogether. So you just have to roll it up and roll it down. That's how you have to do. You just have to roll it down and roll it up in case you want to fill ink. So it's kind of an easy process. And I hope you can see the nib. Wow, isn't she beautiful? My. I totally recommend this pen, especially for the weight. And this happens to be a medium nib, which I totally love. The second pen which I am using in my journal is the Waterman. I would leave a link down below for this as well. I totally love the look because these 2 pens are, they look quite professional, unlike the third pen which I have, which has got some bright colors and which is very flashy. So these pens are pretty professional, and I like to use them when I'm at work. I love this design out here, the slides or whatever you call. I just love the design, which really attracts me to this pen. This pen also, I love it for the weight. The ink which I've filled in here is the Lamy Aqua Ink. I can probably show it to you. So this is how the ink looks like, the third one. Absolutely love this one, again for the weight. And this also happens to be a medium nibbed pen. I can use it in any paper, and I just needn't worry about whether the ink is kind of going to bleed across, but ultimately it all depends upon the type of journal you use. I'm totally happy about this pen. But if you ask me, am I in love with this pen, I would say no. I love my Schiefers more. Don't know, is it because I'm sentimental to this one, because I got her first, but still, I mean, I don't know, I mean, I'm in love with this one than this, I would say. So the third and the last pen which I very frequently kind of use in my pens is my favorite one. It is the Lamy Safari Neon Lime Edition. I totally am ready to die for this pen. I kind of take it up with me when I do traveling and all that, more because this happens to be in plastic, so it is very light. Though it looks bulky, it is such a lightweight pen, and I love this clip which comes along with the pen, so that even if I want to kind of put it in my journal like this, it kind of stays so perfectly well. And another thing which I really want to pinpoint in this one is that it has got a window out here which will show the amount of ink that is left. I really love that. And I love this Lamy, I'm not sure whether you're able to see it. This Lamy kind of, which is written on top of this plastic. I mean, wow, that is just so beautiful. I love the color. Lamy Safaris, they come in a lot of colors, bright colors. So when I put it in my pen case, it actually stands out from the other pens because the other two ones happens to be a bit sober, whereas my Lamy Safari is so bright and quirky, or I don't know, whatever you want to call it. So I am in love with this one. I recently got this one. And I can probably show you the ink here as well. So this has got a plum color ink, maybe purple kind, is that, how should I call it? So this is how the ink looks like, the purple one, in case you're not able to see it. Can I kind of write something for you out there? So this is how it looks. I love the way the ink blends onto the paper. I just enjoy that magical moment of the nib touching the paper. I just go crazy about it. So Neon Lime, a special edition, that's my favorite pick. I love this pen. I just love it. Supposing my house goes on fire, and if I am given one chance to kind of come back to home and pick something when my house is on fire, first is definitely going to be my journals, the current journal which I'm using. If I'm going to be given a second chance, it's definitely going to be the earlier journals which I have filled it up, and the third one is obviously going to be my fountain pens. And amongst my fountain pens, if you ask me to choose, it's going to be my Neon Lime Safari. Ankita, I say you can totally go for this. You would fall in love with this one. So it looks great. I mean, it's not as expensive as these. For my Sheafers, as I told you already, I ended up paying around some 3,200 for this. My Waterman, I ended up paying around some 4,200 for this one. I mean, that was the actual price, but I was having a discount. So it kind of went down to around some 3.8 and all that. And he gave me some cartridges free. And this, I purchased it for around 1,900 and odd, and that too because it's the special edition. I would probably leave a link down below for this one as well. And I got all these pens from William Penn. And let me express my gratitude to my darling friend Nitin for kind of coming along with me and help me to decide on one, because I get so confused the moment I go to the store. I get so carried away seeing all the pens out there that I just want to own all of them. So that's how I am. But he very patiently kind of does this so-called brain dump for me. He helps me to kind of focus on that one thing, on that one stuff which I really want. He does that brain dump for me at William Penn. Thanks a ton, Nitin, for that. So those are the three pens which I kind of use, fountain pens. There are a lot of other pens, markers, and drawing pens which I kind of use. Maybe I can do a video on that later maybe. So this I forgot to show you how the filling works like. This also has cartridges out there. I love this red color, though it's not going to be seen out, but I just love the way the neon lime and the red kind of gets along together. So it's just that you just have to keep turning this portion if you have to fill ink and take the ink out. So it's such an easy process. It's never messy. My hands are always clean. I just journal before kind of recording this video for you guys. So even if I use fountain pens, my hands are not getting messy like before. So maybe because I've mastered that art, but in general, these kind of pens, high-end pens, they don't dirty your hands. So I totally recommend this pen for all fountain pen lovers. In case you don't have this in your pen case, just close your eyes and go for one. So I have talked about the weight of the pens, I've talked about the refill, and I've talked about the nibs. And another two things which I really want to discuss is how I hold the pen. I keep telling I'm no expert. It is just that it works this way for me. So don't come up to me and put up an argument. I'm not here for that. So I generally don't hold a fountain pen as I do hold a ballpoint pen. So if you hold a ballpoint pen, probably you kind of hold it quite tightly towards the tip of the pen. Whereas when I hold a fountain pen, I kind of leave a little bit of gap between the nib and I kind of leave a little bit of gap. Probably I just hold it just above this window, you can see. So I just hold it here, and I just allow the pen to do its work. I don't press too hard onto the paper like I would do for a ballpoint pen, because ultimately if I do that, if I use a lot of pressure onto the pen, I would end up ruining my pen. So it just doesn't work that way. So you have to explore your own way of holding the pen. It's all yours. I mean, just explore, just play around with it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Either you'll end up hating it or you end up loving it. So just get to know whatever it is about. And another two things which I want to say when it comes to fountain pens is that in case you are not using the pen for a prolonged period of time, you better make sure that the ink is the pen is free of ink. Just turn the ink into the bottle, pour the ink onto the bottle from the converter, because it just doesn't work nice when the ink stays in the pen and then you end up not using it for quite a long time. The second important thing which you have to take care when it comes to fountain pen is that once in probably 60 days, you can show the tip, the nib, in running water and kind of give it a nice bath because it works well. I keep shifting ink. Supposing this is plum this time, and maybe I just want to use my duster ink, my Schiefer's duster ink onto this, I just go ahead and do that. So it's all about, so before that what I do is I just take the converter out, I clean it up nicely, I show the nib in running tap water, and once I'm done with that, I kind of tip the pen onto a tissue paper so that the ink kind of, the tissue paper kind of sucks the remaining ink onto it. So that's how I deal with my pens. So there's one more thing which I really want to show. So this is another thing which I wanted to show you. This is a pen case from Penline which I've got, and such a beautiful one it is. I take it, I carry it along with me wherever I go. When I got my Waterman pen, the William Pen store guy was so sweet that he gave this Schiefer ballpoint pen as a compliment for me. I absolutely love this one. I mean, I know the color looks a bit elderly, but the way it feels in my hand is just magical. Just explore William Pen store, guys. I mean, it's just worth it. So this is the pen case which I'm talking about. I keep all my 3 pens inside this. You have actually, I think that the video is not able to capture that part of it. In fact, there are 3 partitions out here where you can put the pens, and it's kind of pretty safe. So I think I ended up paying around some 1,000 rupees for this. So in case I get the link, I'll probably put it down below. So that's all. I mean, that's my journey with the fountain pens. I hope you guys like the video. So in case you guys want to know more, you can put down in the comments out there, and I will respond back to you. Thanks a ton for watching me all through. Hope to see you soon. Good night. Bye bye.